Hey there, folks. Welcome to Mañana No Mas, and we are going live with a freebie today. Hey, y'all. Hope you're having a good day. I thought I'd come at you a little bit before I go live with, I'm going to go live with WP Tonic and Lifter LMS today. But today, right now, with Mañana No Mas, I kind of wanted to share with you our first giveaway for the Black Friday season. And, I feel like I need to give this a little bit of an intro. It was about 3-4 years ago. I got introduced to journaling. I didn't want to do it. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was something that, people used as a crutch or something people distracted each other with, or I don't know what I thought it was, but I put it off and I put it off and I put it off. And I'm getting older. So I thought, you know what? Let's do it. Let's try to do, let me turn this down a little bit so you guys can hear what I'm actually saying. I put it off and then I begrudgingly started to do it. And I started to see results. And I was like, wait a minute. Is this the placebo effect? Is this like taking sugar pills? Did this really help? And what I found was when I followed a certain journal's process, I got a better result. So the journal that I found that I really enjoyed was, you get up in the morning and you kind of look at what your plan is for the day. And then you list, hey, what are 2 or 3 things I'm grateful for? And then kind of your highlights of things that you just want to put in your day. Okay. So what are you grateful for? A couple of highlights of your day. And then you go and you execute the day, right? You kind of have a planner that says, I'm doing this at 8 o'clock, this at 10 o'clock, this at 12 o'clock, so you have that down. And you know what? I still have my phone still reminds me through Google Calendar and things like that. Like I'm a normal person. My stuff is still in the digital world, but I got a kind of like a clean start every day just by writing it out in the planner. I'd open up my digital calendar and I'd be like, this is what's on the calendar for today. This is what I need to execute. These are 3 things I'm grateful for. And these are some highlights of my coming day. That always seemed to put me in like a good framework. Well, I ended up with a stack of books. Like over a couple of years, got a stack of books. And so I bought a Remarkable 2 tablet. I got one of those right here. And the Remarkable 2 tablet enabled me to still journal, still plan. But now when I have meetings with people, I'm able to keep really good notes from all of those meetings. And what's really cool about a digital tablet like a Remarkable 2 is that it's all searchable. So whether you're using an iPad, an Android tablet, a Remarkable 2, any kind of platform like this, you know that when you make notes in it, it becomes a searchable note rather than something you're having to leaf through pages to find. And so I found it to be much more efficient. So when that efficiency kind of took over, I was like, I still want to journal, but I don't necessarily want to have a ton of books. So last year, if you were around last year and you followed Mañana No Mas, you know that we have this book that I wrote called Action Leadership from the Edge. And one of the things I put in to promote Action Leadership from the Edge on the actionleadershipteam.com website, scrolling on the bottom of this video, was I wanted to give people a free digital planner and journal. And I did that. Okay. But it was 1,230 something pages. And with a digital planner, if you're not careful with your setup, I had to do like kind of like courses almost, right? Like I did lives on how to set the tabs in it and how to be able to go between the sections. Like what's the year in review calendar, the month in review calendar, the week in review calendar, the week at a time, where's the journal stuff versus the note stuff versus the day-to-day stuff. And so you had to set up the tabs in that, and you kind of had to stay current with your planning and journaling to be able to know where you left off. And so that said, I wanted to find a better way. And for 2024, we've done that. I'm going to do a screen share here with you real quick, and I'm going to show you what we've got here. This is the Action Leadership from the Edge 2024 planner. And, I totally get it. I know that people start and stop. It's totally normal. Like you're not going to be able to hit this 365 days out of the year. So I set this planner up completely hyperlinked so that things work in a system. So if I start swiping pages here, you're going to see that things are changing. So I'm swiping, just like turning pages of a book, right? So here we go. This is, let me go backwards. Up, there we go. I went too far back. There we go. So I'm at January, got a journal page. Okay. So you see how that works. And then I've got today's inspiration. So I didn't want people to have to follow my process. So what are 3 things I'm grateful for? I wanted you to have your own process. So what is today's inspiration? For some people, it's a quote, it's a scripture, it's a piece of art, it's something you saw on TikTok. It could be whatever, but you kind of just, write that down, right? So I would say, TikTok is the bomb. Oh, let me make sure that I don't. There we go. Hit the close button by mistake, but say TikTok is the bomb. Right? So maybe there's something in there that makes sense to me. Maybe I'm a scriptural kind of person and I jumped into like John 14 for the day, right? So maybe I read John 14 as a chapter, right? Maybe I'm in the Quran, maybe I'm in something else, maybe I'm in the ancient arts. I don't know. What's the moon cycle look like for you? So, is it a half moon, right? So maybe it's a half moon and you're going to say, I feel low on energy today. Okay. And maybe that's not a positive, but it's your journal. You be as honest with yourself as you want to be. Today's priorities, you go ahead and you fill in what are the things that I'm going to take care of today. And then what I like to do at the end of the day is I like to come back and I like to fill this in before bedtime. Okay. And why I like to do it late in the day is it kind of cleans your mind. And it says, hey, we're done. We're done for the day. We put our head down and just go to sleep. Process those thoughts and go to sleep. Now, let's say you make an error inside your Remarkable 2. Well, you can just go ahead and hit the back button all you want, and it'll start to take things right off the screen for you, right? So there's different things that you can do to take things off. Now, let me tell you how this thing is hyperlinked. This is where my schedule is. And so I usually start out my day with Lifter LMS, right? And then I usually do something with WP Tonic. Okay. And then we have Mañana no Mas work. Then, you guys usually see me midday or slightly in the afternoon, usually with a live. I'm a little early today, but usually I do something live, and then family time. Okay. So that's kind of what a day would look like. But let's say I want to see what Saturday is going to look like. Well, instead of having to swipe page by page by page, I can just click right there on, hold on, let me get there. Click there on the 6th, and it takes me right to January 6th. If I want to know what I'm going to do that following Sunday, I click on 14, and it takes me right to 14. If I want to see that whole month kind of thing right from the beginning, I can go right to the beginning of the month, and every beginning of the month, I'm going to have, let me close that right down so you can see this. Here is my habit tracker for the month. So here are the days of the month. I'm circling that for you. And then here we have exercise, book, hobby, date night. So did I exercise, right? Did I read something? Am I working on my hobbies? Okay. Did I read a book there? Did I take my wife out on the weekend? These are things that you can look at on one page in your month and say, oh, I'm making headway. Your main goal might be, wellness. I like that as an overall topic. Okay. And then your notes, so you got active, you read, you prayed, right? Maybe you joined a community. But I think what you're getting at here, what you're starting to see me get at, is when I designed this planner, I was very specific. I wanted to be able to take a look at my month in review, look at my goals, and see how I'm doing. I wanted to see each day. And then I wanted to be able to kind of journal that day out right on the same day. Instead of having to go back and forth through 1,200 pages, I wanted to. And by the way, I see people are coming in here live. If you have a question, comment, concern, anything like that, go ahead and put a comment in. Let me know where you're from. Just put comments at the bottom wherever you're looking, right? This is on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube right now. Feel free to put in a question. And if you want to know how to get a copy of this free, planner and journal, it's right on our website, actionleadershipteam.com, actionleadershipteam.com. It's one of the main tools that I help encourage people with when I talk to them about becoming an action leader. So feel free to jump in there and grab a copy of that if that's what you would like to do. Now, I already told you that every day has a page. Every day also has like this journal page where we put our notes. But then if we go to the next page, I call this the journal page. Okay. And when you see that, and see what I like about these digital planners, you can just write right in them, and you can erase things, add things, take things. The digital planners are super cool. Like this Remarkable 2 has changed the way that I process information for myself. But the reason I have this free-form journal page, I was tempted to not even put lines on it. But you can see with my handwriting, I kind of need some lines. And so, but I was tempted to make it blank, because if I would have made it blank, then you could have drawn pictures and done all kinds of cool things, right? But I left it lined, and I want you to be able to draw whatever you want. And what's cool about this is, if you take a look at a Remarkable 2 planner, do I want to use a fountain pen? How wide do I want the stroke to be? Do I want it to be gray, white, or black? Okay. And then I can close that. And then I can say, with an artistic sense, I can say, man, I had a great day. Right. And you can take that moment and you can celebrate that win with yourself, and you can go to bed being positive. And what's cool about this is these things have an amazing, they can hold an amazing amount of data in them. So you can stack these journals up year after year after year. My intention is to come out with a free planner every year, make it part of the actionleadershipteam.com website, and help promote the messaging that we're doing through Action Leadership, where I believe that everybody has a natural call to leadership that needs to be filled. If you choose not to fill it, it creates a void in the universe, and then poor leadership takes its place. And that's the crux of my whole movement there. But those are things that I think are really, really important. So I hope you kind of like the planner. Like I said, it's free, so can't really go wrong with that. Last year, it was more work to use it. It didn't have all the hyperlinks between the days, the months, and the weeks. And so you literally had to like page through it or go to the page selection that lists all the pages and kind of, unless you have microscopic eyes, you kind of had to be like, well, I think it's 50 pages down. Okay, I think I want to go 80 pages now. I think I want to go 100 pages down. And you kind of had to hunt and peck at it a little bit to be, any sense of proficient with it. And so this year, I wanted to make sure that we put in the work, we hyperlink the whole thing. I didn't add a lot of graphics or quotes or make it overly spammy, for what we do. Our link is at the bottom of each page. And that's really it. In coming years, maybe I'll add some graphics, maybe I'll style it up a little bit more. But to be honest, I want the user to be able to use it and make it their own. So that's why on the journal page, I say, inspiration. I don't say list out 3 things that, I want the user to be able to use the pages efficiently and effectively for themselves and their own mindset, rather than try to conform to mine. Again, instead of separating the planner page from the journal page, from the notes page, I wanted to put it all together. So realistically, if you look at it, it goes, planner, notes, journal, planner, notes, journal. And so there's those 3 pages for every day of the year. There's the week at a glance, there's the month at the glance, and there's the year at a glance. But there is also on that month at a glance page, that's where we can track, our habits and things and goals that we're working on for the month. So that's it. That's all I wanted to do today was give you something. This is part of our Black Friday push as part of the Mañana No Mas umbrella that we have. Mañana No Mas has Mañana No Mas, the agency, Kurt Von Annen for public speaking, right, on leadership and things WordPress oriented. And then we've got the Power Sport Academy, which helps motorcycle dealerships improve their parts and labor sales. We have started to get into the Power Sport Retailers Association. I can't help myself. I've got a power sports sickness. And then, of course, the Action Leadership Team. So actionleadershipteam.com is where we put Action Leadership from the Edge, our book, and of course, the courses that go along with reading that book. As a side project, I started something called livinghutch.com. Livinghutch.com, and it's kind of it's like my own little digital thank you letter to the people in Hutchinson, Kansas that welcomed my family so well 2 months ago when we first moved here, and to all of the successful transactions we have had as a family moving to Hutchinson, Kansas. We came from an area where it was nice, I suppose, right? Close to the ocean, close to the mountains, really great people at church. Sometimes you would look around and go, why am I complaining? Why do I want to move so bad? But I will tell you, it has been a game changer moving to Hutchinson, Kansas. And this was my way of thanking the people in Hutchinson and trying to give people a pat on the back. So livinghutch.com is one of our newest projects, and you'll see that growing exponentially over time. And that's it for today. So I'm going to hit you with the thanks for watching sign, and I'll see you next time.